Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would just do a random voiceover for this journal spread that I made because it's not exactly bookish, so I didn't want to do bookish questions. But I also couldn't really find a Q&A about High School Musical, the musical, the series. But basically a bit of backstory behind it. I made this journal spread after I binged the entire series in one night. It was really hard because the episodes are short and it's pretty addictive. Kind of like, oh, it wasn't trash television, but it wasn't like a show that I really need to think about. Anyway, so I binged it all in one night, really liked it, can't wait for the next season. And I thought I would do a spread. Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched the series, you probably shouldn't watch this journal with me because I'm about to just talk about what happens at the end of the series. So basically, I wanted to do a spread based on Ricky's speech at the end after the musical. So yeah, this is actually a really not like it's a long spread in a way where I think I did one, two, three, four pages or more. Actually, I'm not even entirely sure, but it's like the quote is really long, so I really had to fit it in there. And I didn't even get the whole thing. Like that quote is so freaking long. Anyway, so yes, I decided I would just do a really quick voiceover over some random Q&A questions that I found online. And yeah, I think it'll be kind of fun. But I also want to apologize before we even get into it. The lighting at some point in this gets kind of weird and like the sun comes out, so it creates a lot of shadows. So just ignore that. And also, at some point, I'm pretty sure in this clip right now, before the next transition, I forget an entire word of the quote, night, but you'll see that I insert a picture in the top left hand corner of how I fixed it, if you were curious. But anyway, if you notice that, it gets fixed, I promise. Okay, now we're gonna talk about some random questions. And also, this video might be a little. Okay, no, Valerie, your video's not gonna be boring. Stop talking about yourself like that. Okay, this is basically my own personal podcast. But anyway, let's get into the questions. So the first question is can't even talk. What weird food combinations do you really enjoy? Okay, this is kind of random, and I saw this on someone's YouTube video, I'm not even sure who, but they put Nutella on pizza, and I was like, that sounds disgusting. Like, who would ever mix that? And then one night, I had pizza. Also, random story, but last night, I also had pizza. I didn't put Nutella on it, though. So one time, when we ordered pizza, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna try it. Like, don't hate it until you've tried it. And so I put Nutella on my pizza, and I microwaved it. Um, a little bit more just so like the Nutella was not cold and it was kind of melted and it was so good. Like I'm not even kidding. Oh, there's the awkward shadow of and light. You'll see that I pulled it down a little bit so it doesn't look too weird. But just ignore that and I'm really sorry about that. Anyway, okay. Yeah, so I tried Nutella on pizza and it was so good. Like ridiculously good. I don't know who came up with that, but like oh my gosh, it was so good. So, yeah, that's the weird food combination that I enjoy. Something else is also my mom used to always buy these like pizzelli crackers from Costco in like a really big pack. And for some reason, I thought one day, let me try adding cheese to it, sweet and savory. And that was also so good. Like I melted the cheese on top and it made it kind of like crispy. And it was so freaking good. Like for what? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so that was another food combination that I really liked. Next question is what food have you never eaten but would really like to try? If you didn't know this about me, I'm a very picky eater. Like, I eat very few things and I like very few things. The only things I really like are anything with cheese and basically ice cream. So, yeah, food that I want to try though. Honestly, I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. Actually, I do have an idea. I don't know, I just said that. I'm kind of curious about pumpkin pie because I like pumpkin bread. I like the scent of pumpkin spice in my candle. So I feel like pumpkin pie, I might like it, right? I don't know. I've actually never tried it. My family doesn't really celebrate Thanksgiving. Um, and even if we do, we don't really eat traditional Thanksgiving food. So I've never had pumpkin pie before, but maybe I would like to try that. Okay, next question. What's something you really resent paying for? Something I really resent paying for is I don't know, like I feel like sometimes I'll buy random clothes just because they're on sale and then later I realize that I don't actually like the clothes. And so it's just kind of a waste of money. Obviously it's like not a big deal, but yeah. I guess sometimes clothes. I suck at answering these questions. Anyway, question the next question is do you think that aliens exist? Do I think that aliens exist? I know my best friend actually does believe in aliens. Me, on the other hand, I'm not entirely sure because I feel like it's possible. Like, there are signs of life and stuff, but like aliens, I don't really want to think about that. That's kind of scary, because what if they come and like suck our brains out? Okay, morbid. Moving on. I don't know if I think aliens exist. 7. What are you currently worried about? Luckily, I'm not as worried anymore because last week I was so stressed over one of my chemistry tests. And let me tell you, I'm not a person who like studies a lot in general. Like most of the time I can breeze. Oh, there's that picture of how I fixed that quote and that night in your room. But anyway, I'm not a person who really studies a lot for tests. And I don't want to like flex, but I've never really needed to study a lot. But oh my gosh, last week was the most stressful week of my life. I studied for 10 hours on one night for a chemistry test. Like that to me is ridiculous. 10 hours, that's longer than a school day. That's like 1.5 school days. But anyway, yeah, that was what I was really worried about last week. Right now, I'm honestly not really worried about anything. I do have like some school assessments coming up, but not really this week. So, I guess I'm pretty worry free right now, which is probably why I had the time to actually record this voiceover. Actually, I'm just gonna take a break right now because my computer's overheating, and last time it overheated, it was so loud. So I'll be back in like 5 minutes, although it'll be like 2 seconds for you. Okay, so I'm back to continue the voiceover. I'm sure it was literally no time for you, but it's been a few hours, and I got kind of lazy, so I didn't want to keep going. But now we're gonna keep going. Anyway, the next question I have here is, where are some unusual places you've been? I can't really think of anything like particularly weird, but when I was younger, my family and a bunch of our family friends, we used to go to like these places where you could go inside a bunch of caves and like we would all wear headlamps and have our flashlights. And to be honest, it was pretty gross. Like me being me now, like I would never do that. Like disgusting. I hate nature, hate dirt. It was like slimy sometimes and it was like wet and like you would have to hold on to the wet wall. Like that's just not fun for me anymore. But I guess that was kind of cool that we used to do that. So yeah, that's kind of unusual. Okay, moving on. I said too many times. Uh, I just said it again. What movie can you watch over and over without getting tired of? And this one I actually have a very interesting answer. Well, I think it's kind of interesting. This is not really. I always say it's my favorite movie, but to be honest, I don't love it as much as I say I do. I just always think it's really cool in Now You See Me 2, which is the second Now You See Me movie. When they do that card scene, like I think the first time I saw it was on Instagram, and I was like, I really need to watch that movie. That looked really cool. So I watched the first movie, and then I watched the second movie, and it was just like I was like so fascinated by it. And at one point, I thought I would also try to learn to do some like card tricks, like fancy card tricks to hide the cards or whatever. Didn't work out. So yeah. Okay. Next question is: when you're old, what do you think children will ask you to tell stories about? 100% Corona. 100%. Because like we're literally living through a pandemic and like I've never done that before. Oh, and my camera just shook. So you can see a little bit of the side, but I hope that's okay. Anyway, yeah, 100%. Oh, I said 100% so many times. I literally need to stop repeating words. But I think that COVID will definitely be something that my future children and my grandchildren will ask me about, which is crazy to think about. But anyway, yeah, for sure. Corona. Anything else? Not really, because I feel like I haven't lived through anything major other than the pandemic. Not the pandemic is not major. It is, but like nothing else that's also as major as this. Okay. Next question is, oh my gosh, what happened to my questions? Okay. What when did something start out badly for you, but in the end it was great? Um, Honestly, I feel like most things for me, this sounds so sad, but I feel like most things for me usually start out great and then they kind of go downhill. But something that started out bad and became good, I guess, I could say my chemistry class in grade 11. I honestly was not a fan of chemistry at all, but then I made some really great friends. So I think that that was one of the highlights of my grade 11 year. Like, I liked chemistry class way more than I thought I ever would. Grade 12, on the other hand, not so good. Hate that class. Okay, next question is, what animal would be cutest if scaled down to the size of a cat? I don't know if you've listened to any of my other voiceovers or if I've mentioned this before at all, but I'm not an animal person. Like, I will think your dog is cute, but I do not want it anywhere near me. Like, please make it stay away. I will admire it and its cuteness from a distance. Yeah, no, thank you. No animals. I'm not an animal person. I'm not even going to try to answer that question. Okay, we're probably going to do one more question before I end this video. So, Okay, just kidding. I cannot find where my questions went. Like, they literally keep disappearing. Where is the tab? Also, random fact, I'm a person who keeps a lot of tabs open. But since we don't have that much time left, I'm just gonna go ahead and finish off this voiceover, which was really rambly, really random. I hope you don't mind. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!